Straight all day.
You are now tuned into the show where you learn the discipline to show up day after day, to do the work, the confidence to put yourself out there boldly and authentically, and the mental toughness to continue showing up, doing the work, putting yourself out there even when the success you've expected to achieve has yet to be achieved. And on top of all this, you get a huge dose of personal initiative. That is the go-getter energy that moves any one of us, including yourself, to go and make things happen instead of waiting for things to happen. And then we put all this together into a series of frameworks, approaches, insights, strategies, and techniques all underneath the umbrella of one unifying philosophy that is called Work on Your Game. My name is Baldwin, also known as Dre All Day, and welcome to the show. And today's topic is every discipline challenge is actually a structural challenge. Now we'll get into, of course, the explanation of what that means and what you can do about it in a moment. First of all, let me tell everyone, I send out a daily motivation text message free of charge every single morning to everyone who is in my text community. This text message is guaranteed to do the following. It's going to keep you focused, it's going to keep you sharp, and it's going to keep you on point for the day in front of you. So if you would like to be those three things for free every day at the convenience of a text message, all you got to do is message me at my number. Here it is, 305-384-6894. Send a message to that number right now because you want this message, and every day when I send out the daily motivation, you're on the list, you'll be getting it. Second thing, if you have not claimed your free copy of my book called The Mirror of Motivation, this is the book about how do you show up and be your best, so that you can do your best, so you can have the results that you want in life. How do you decide who you need to be as a person? Not what you need to do, who you need to be. Because when you answer that question, then what you need to do comes naturally. All right, so if you want to do things naturally without having to force yourself, you want it to come as part of who you are as a person, go to mirrorofmotivation.com. That's mirrorofmotivation.com. Claim your free copy of my book. I will send you a physical copy of the book. All you're going to do is cover the shipping, and I will ship a physical copy of that book to your physical doorstep, your P.O. box, your office, wherever. Just tell us where to send it. And the third thing, all business folks who are serious about increasing your income in business, and you would like to do it through process and system rather than hard work, hope, and no trying to run yourself into the ground like you're already doing, go to workonyourgame.net. I have a free training that's 45 minutes long that tells you the exact process that I use to help people like yourself do this. Again, that's at workonyourgame.net. Set aside 45 minutes to watch that training. With all that said, let's talk about today's topic, which is every discipline challenge is a structural challenge. Now, the reason why we're talking about this and I'm explaining this is that every day I hear from people who express that their biggest challenge is a lack of discipline or a lack of consistency or a lack of focus or a lack of mental toughness, something around that or something that rhymes with that. Many of you who are listening to this right now, you have expressed that this is your biggest challenge. Discipline, consistency, focus, mental toughness, no harder, better, faster, no these things. These are all different forms of the exact same challenge. But the actual challenge though is actually none of these. So any of you who feels like you're not disciplined enough, I am not invalidating the fact that you believe that, but I want to tell you that that's not actually your problem. The actual challenge is what we're going to talk about here today. Your actual problem is not that you need to be more consistent or mentally tougher or more focused. Now, those things may come with us solving the actual problem, but those are not the actual solution either. So let's get into it. Point number one. Topic once again is every discipline challenge is a structural challenge. First of all, let's get a definition of this word structural so that we're all on the same page here. Definition of structural is relating to or forming part of the structure of a building or other item. Let me give a different definition. I don't like using the word in the definition. It says relating to the arrangement and relations between the parts or elements of a complex whole. I like that definition better. So the parts and elements of a complex whole. So if you think that discipline is your challenge, discipline is part of your challenge, but that's not the whole challenge. There's a whole and you're only looking at a piece. So it's like you're looking at one brick in the building or one screw in a machine, but the whole machine is what we need to look at, not just the one screw or the one brick. We gotta look at the whole building. So let's talk about it. Point number one. Anyone can be disciplined when we're doing something that we want to do. And when that thing is set up in a way that is convenient for us to do. Let me say that again. And then some of you may be thinking something. I'm going to address the thing that I know that you might be thinking. Let me say the sentence again. Anyone can be disciplined when we're doing something that we want to do and when that thing is set up in a way that is convenient for us to do. Now, I know that many of you may be thinking, well, Dre, yeah, you're right about that, but discipline is kind of like the opposite of that, right? I mean, discipline only comes into play when you're doing something that you don't want to do or you're doing something that's not convenient for you. Now, while in some cases that is true, often we can make discipline easier for ourselves by setting ourselves up for success. So there are times when you do need to you got to kind of kick yourself in the butt, and you got to make yourself do something that you don't really feel like doing. That's when the grit and the mental toughness and the perseverance and the persistence and the whole concept of the third day, not the whole concept, but at least part of the concept of the third day comes in, when you got to kind of push yourself to do something that you didn't really feel like doing. So yes, in some cases this is true. In my book, The Third Day, I talk about this at times. So let me give you some more context into this point that help you understand that discipline, yes, sometimes it's pushing yourself, but often it's more simple than that, than just pushing yourself and gritting your teeth and grinding yourself down, because there's only so much of that any of us has in us. Some have more, some have less, but we all have a limit to how much of that we can do before we don't want to give any more effort, and then we stop giving effort. So is there a way that we can make discipline work for us that makes it a little bit easier? The answer is yes, because in this book, The Third Day, I actually tell you how to make discipline easy for you. There's a whole section in the book where I talk about how to make discipline easy. So how do you do it? Let me give you an example from my own life. So this morning I went to the gym and worked out. Now, while I probably would have gone to the gym no matter what happened this morning, let me tell you a few things that I did before I went to the gym this morning that made it easier for me to go to the gym this morning. All right, let me just tell you these things. First of all, I prepared my workout clothes yesterday, i.e. the night before, and I had my workout clothes laid out for me by the time I woke up in the morning. So I didn't have to make the decision to get my workout clothes. I didn't have to decide what clothes to get. I had my water bottle already filled up with water last night, so this morning all I had to do was grab it and walk out the door. I already had the fruits that I would eat in the morning, because I don't eat breakfast in the morning. I just eat fruits in the morning. I go work out, have a protein shake, and I don't eat. My first time I eat a meal is lunch. So I already had the fruits that I would eat already laid out for me. I already had my workout sneakers that I knew I would wear. I already knew where they were. They were right close to the door. I had a plan because I knew where I was going to work out. I knew exactly what I would do once I got to the gym, because I've been to the gym before, so I know what equipment is in there. I know what I'm doing on this particular day, what workouts I'm doing, what exercises I'm not doing. I already knew all that. I knew how long I would be in the gym. And I had all of this planned out and already mapped out in my mind the night before the morning workout. Now, let me ask you a question. Did any of those decisions that I made last night contribute to the fact that I work out consistently and the fact that I worked out today? Do you think any of those contributed to the fact that I got my workout in today? If you're answering yes, then you're right, because of course they do. Because each one of those things that I did yesterday to prepare for my workout this morning, each one of them, first of all, removed a decision that I would no longer need to make in the morning. So I had to make no decisions this morning. All I had to do was follow the process that I had already set myself up to follow. And because I needed to make fewer decisions, I needed less willpower. Therefore, let's just say I hadn't gotten a lot of sleep the night before. Let's say I only slept 4 hours last night, but I didn't sleep 4 hours, but let's just say that I slept 4 hours, or there was a lot of noise happening the night before, or I just wasn't in good shape, or my body wasn't feeling good, or my mind wasn't feeling good, or I just couldn't fall asleep, or I kept waking up, or whatever happened the night before, and I just didn't get good rest, so my energy wasn't that great, my willpower was not very high. If I hadn't taken all these steps to prepare myself the night before, maybe I would have decided, you know what, I'm just not going to work out today. And I talk to people who have the desire, a strong desire, to do something like work out every day, or record your podcast, or work on writing that book, or launch your course, or build your sales funnel, or fill in the blank with whatever thing you're working on right now, anything that's a long-term project or something that's repeatable, like going to the gym. And you have times when your energy's not right, your willpower is not right, you got all these other externalities that are in the way, and therefore you don't do the thing that you know you want to do, simply because your willpower is not as high as you want it to be, your energy is not as high as you want it to be, and therefore you end up not doing the thing that you want to do, and then you feel bad about the fact that you didn't do it. And one of the reasons that this happens is not because you lack discipline, is because you have not put in the proper structure, or you are not following the structure that will allow you to make discipline easier, where it's less of a willpower thing and is more of a process thing. Is everybody following what I just said? So you understand, the fewer decisions that I need to make in the morning, the less willpower I need to use, which means it increases the likelihood that I'll follow through by simply following my process and doing what I planned on doing. So what does all this require? This requires that you actually have a process. So because I have a process, everything I laid out for you, taking out my workout clothes the night before, filling up my water bottle, laying out my fruits, laying out my supplements, preparing my protein shake the night before, putting it in the refrigerator, have my workout sneakers ready, knowing what workout I'm doing, knowing exactly where I'm going to work out, how I'm going to work out, what I'm going to do, when it's going to start, when it's going to end, what I'm going to do after that. I know all of these things tonight for what I'm going to do tomorrow. And yes, I'm going to the gym tomorrow too. I know everything that I'm going to do before I actually do it when it comes to anything that is duplicatable and repeatable and important to me. Let me say that sentence one more time because you should be adopting this for yourself. I know everything I'm going to do ahead of time for everything that is duplicatable, repeatable, and important to me. So anything you're going to be doing over and over and over again that can be done the same way every time, and it's important to you, you should have a process for doing that thing over and over and over again. You should not be deciding every time it's time to do it whether or not you're going to do it based on how you feel or what happened the night before or if it's raining outside or if your back hurts. You shouldn't be making decisions that way. If you are making decisions that way, then what you have is not a discipline challenge. What you have is a structure challenge. You have not structured your discipline in the right way in order to do this, or you are simply not following your own structure. And the only reason somebody doesn't follow their structure is because you have not built the muscle of following your structure. So here's where the third day comes in. Is in my book, The Third Day, I talk about this. So if you don't have your copy of this book, go to thirddaybook.com. Again, the book is free, just cover the shipping. To get started on discipline, you have to overcome the inertia of not having the discipline. So this usually takes a short period of time. I would say maybe a week, maybe 3 weeks, depending on how much we have to undo. So to get started on doing a new discipline that you've never done before, you will have to push yourself because you're doing something that you haven't normally done. Remember the law of inertia, that an object tends to remain in whatever state it's already in. So if you're a person who never works out and now you're going to start working out every day, you got to move yourself to create the new habit of working out every day because your body's not used to it. But we're creatures of habit. So once you build the habit of working out every day, now you'll work out every day by nature. You'll just do it naturally because that's what your body wants to do because you built the habit. But if you're in the habit of not working out, you got to undo that. You got to fight against it. So that requires a little bit of willpower. But once you get it moving, then you're good. It's harder to get an object that is stationary to start moving. It's hard to get an object that's moving to become stationary. But it's easy to keep an object that's either stationary or moving to continue being stationary or continue moving. That's the law of inertia. So that's where you need a little bit of the kick in the ass to go do what you need to do. But once you get the momentum going, then you're good as long as you stick to your process. And you can't let your mind defeat you and stop you from following the process that you already told yourself you're going to follow. And again, that's covered in my book, The Third Day. So every decision that you make ahead of time, following your process, and again, you only got to make the decision one time. You put your structure in place, just follow the structure every day, then it becomes a habit and you start doing it naturally without thinking about it. See, some days if I forget to do something that's in my process, I forget to grab the socks that I'm going to wear in the morning to work out. I forget to fill my water bottle. I forget to prepare my protein shake. Something in my subconscious mind says, Dre, something is missing. There's something that I didn't do. Even if I don't know exactly what it is, my subconscious tells me that I'm missing something. What did I not do? Then I go back over my process consciously, because this becomes unconscious because I've done it so often, and I notice what I forgot, and then I fix it. You can do this exact same thing. There's no magic trick to this, folks. This is not a superpower. This is a structural issue that anyone can fix, but you have to make the choice to fix it, first of all. And I can help you with this. Point number 2. Today's topic, once again, is every discipline challenge is actually a structural challenge. Number 2, many people struggle with discipline because you fail to set yourself up to make it easy for you. And I just laid out a bunch of that in point number 1. Using the same example from what I just shared. Some of you, just today, you had the idea of going to the gym this morning, but you didn't do it because you didn't leave your workout clothes out last night. You didn't have a plan for when or where you would work out. You didn't have your water or your morning snacks ready the night before. And you didn't give yourself a compelling reason to actually work out as opposed to your other options. Now, see, it's not just, are you going to work out? You don't need just a reason to work out. Your reason to work out got to be stronger than your reason to do something other than working out, like sleeping or playing with the dog or watching TV. See, your reason for working out needs to be stronger than every other choice that you have, because we're going to take the option that we care about the most, the one that's most convenient for us, or the one that is most compelling to us. Is the better word, not convenient, but compelling. It'd be convenient for me to stay in bed too, but it's more compelling for me to go to the gym. Do you get it? So what's more compelling for you than waking up and going to the gym this morning? Well, we know the answer. What'd you do? If you didn't go, anybody listening to this who was supposed to go to the gym today, you didn't do it, what was the more compelling option that you chose instead? I already know that you chose something. All right? And I know that there's somebody listening to this who wanted to go to the gym today, you didn't do it. There's somebody listening to this who's supposed to be at the gym right now, but you're not there. What did you choose to do instead? What story did you tell yourself that made not going to the gym okay? You can lie to me, don't lie to yourself. That's the most important thing. See, if you don't give yourself a compelling reason to actually do the thing that you're trying to be disciplined about, compared to your other options. Compelling means compared to your other options. Compelling is relative. And if you don't have a system for doing the thing consistently, which means even if you do it one time, you won't be able to do it every time. So you need a system so you can do it over and over and over again. So then you don't have the excuse of, well, I'm just undisciplined. See, some people say that they're undisciplined, and they say it almost like it's a badge of honor. Oh, I just don't have that much discipline, Dre. No, you have plenty of discipline. You just don't have structure. What you need is structure. See, when the actual challenge is the structure makes your discipline difficult, or your lack of structure makes discipline difficult, or your lack of follow through to a structure makes discipline difficult. See, someone who's listening to this right now, you have the idea of starting a podcast or writing a book, but you haven't done it yet. And you're looking at yourself in the mirror and you're telling yourself, oh, well, I'm just not as disciplined as people who have podcasts or people who write books. And you just haven't acted on your idea. And you're telling yourself the reason is you don't have discipline. The real reason, however, is that you simply have not set up a structure that makes it easy and convenient for you to record your podcast or write your book. Now, the thing is, there's a way to do this. You just haven't plugged into it yet. So your discipline challenge, again, is actually a structural challenge. This very show that you're listening to right now, the reason the show has come out every single day for almost 7 years running is not because I'm this super disciplined individual. Even though I am a super disciplined individual, that's not the reason why the show comes out every day. The reason the show comes out every day is because I set up a structure that makes it easy for the show to come out every day. I have all my talking points laid out. I know exactly what I'm going to talk about. I know when and where I'm going to record. I know what kind of environment I need to have in order to record. I know who's going to edit the audio. I have a process for getting the audio uploaded to our hosting platform so it can go to all the platforms that spread it, like Apple and Spotify, like the ones that you're listening to it on right now. I know what the intro audio is going to be. I have a person in charge, Nico, my audio guy, takes care of the audio. He edits all the audio. He puts the intro in. If there are ads, he puts the ads in. He knows how to upload it to DreAllDay.com. He knows how to get it up to our hosting audio platform, and they send it out to all the other feeds like Apple, Spotify, wherever you listen to this. We got a whole structure that allows this show to keep coming out every single day. It's not because I'm disciplined the show comes out every day. It's because we have a structure that the show comes out every day. All of that is part of the structure that makes the discipline easy. Everybody following what I'm saying here? So in the hierarchy here, structure is above discipline. When you have structure, discipline's easy. When you have no structure, discipline becomes hard. It becomes a grind. And this is why many of you are telling yourselves, well, I'm just not disciplined. Well, maybe you're not disciplined. But the reason that you're not disciplined is because you don't have a structure that is basically a parent to the discipline. Point number 3. Today's topic, once again, is every discipline challenge is actually a structural challenge. In conclusion, anyone listening to my voice right now, if you feel like you are, or you have been, beating yourself up because of your lack of discipline, I want to remind you that a lack of discipline is not your problem. A lack of structure is your problem. A lack of process is your problem. A lack of system is your problem. It's because you don't have a system that makes discipline easy, discipline feels hard. This is why so many people cringe at the thought of discipline, because they don't have a system and they don't even understand that the systems make discipline easy. When you have a system, it's easy to be disciplined. When you don't have a system, then it's hard to be disciplined. And this is why many people struggle with discipline, because they don't understand that there's something above discipline. It's called systems, processes, structure. The good news is, that was the bad news. Here's the good news. You don't need to change who you are as a person. You don't need to fundamentally change your character to fix this problem. You do not. All you need to do is plug into a system that actually works. That's all you got to do. The good thing about systems is that all of us as humans, as natural creatures of habit, we are really good at operating by system when we are given systems that produce our desired outcomes. If I can show you a system that produces your desired outcome, you will use that system, you will use it habitually, and it won't feel strenuous to you. There will not be a grind to operating that system because you're getting what you want. That's the reason why it's not a grind, because you're getting what you want. Now, those of you who hate working out, Now, that system instruction needs to be a little bit stronger for you. It has to be a little bit more compelling for you. Those of you who want to work out, but you're not doing it, it won't be hard to put that structure in place because you want to work out. So you are getting the result that you want. You'll be happy with this as long as it's working for you. Now, those of you who don't like working out, now we got to be a little bit more creative in making it compelling for you. You get it? So what you need to do, every listener right now, think of something that you want to be more disciplined at, but you're not doing it. Decide what outcome you want. Let's work backwards. What outcome do you want? Then you create, or even better, easier, connect with a system that achieves that outcome. That's all you got to do. If you know someone who has already achieved an outcome, oh, even better. Just plug into what they're doing. All you got to do is borrow their process and use it for you. You see, folks, life is very simple when you break things down to their essential pieces. All right, that's what I do here at Work on Your Game. All right, this is I have an episode on my show where I talk about what's your reason for existing in the marketplace. This is one of my reasons for existing in the marketplace. I take things that people feel like they understand, they feel like they quote unquote know. I break them down to their simplest pieces, and I put it back together and I explain it to you in a way that anyone can understand, so that you understand these things are not as complicated as you might have made them out to be in your mind when you break them down the right way and when you understand how they need to be addressed, which often means taking things out of your hands and putting them in the hands of someone who can understand things maybe better than you can. I do the same thing. I was just on a call today with a guy who has I was on a call today with a guy who told me he has 2 coaching programs. He has an agency. This is marketing business thing, because I'm just looking to get my name, my brand, my likeness, all this stuff out there to more people. He told me he has 2 coaching programs. One was $50,000, another was $100,000. He has an agency, and we're going to set up a call to talk about all the different things that his business can do, possibly for my business. Not guaranteeing I'm going to work with the guy, but we're going to talk about it. I'm telling you that to tell you this, that even though I can break these things down and explain these things, I don't try to do everything on my own. When I see that there's someone who could maybe solve a problem that I have better than I can, I go to them. Why? Because it saves me time. And why does that matter? Because we ain't got unlimited time. All right, time is running out on everybody. Everybody who's listening to this, your time is ticking. With that being said, let's recap today's class, which is every discipline challenge is actually a structural challenge. So I hear from people all the time who say their biggest challenge is the lack of discipline, consistency, focus, mental toughness. These are all forms of the same challenge, because the actual challenge is none of these. Point number 1. Anyone can be disciplined when we're doing something that we actually want to do and that is set up in a way that is convenient for us to do. Now, you might think discipline is the opposite of that. It is not. The reason why you're able to do anything consistently in a disciplined way, and all of us are disciplined at something, is because we have a structure that allows us to be disciplined and makes the discipline part easy. If you look at your life, you will notice there are certain parts of your life that you are doing this. You just might not have been conscious about it. If you think about it, you'll notice it. Point number 2, many people struggle with discipline because you fail to set yourself up to make discipline easy. Again, I told you why I go to the gym every day. I told you my whole process. I go to the gym every day because I set myself up to make going to the gym easy for me. Even though I'm already compelled to go to the gym, it's even easier to do it because I set myself up to make it easy. So anything that you want to be doing consistently, you need to set up a process that makes it easy for you to do that thing, not a struggle to do that thing. You shouldn't have to make a decision whether you're going to do something every single day. It should already be set up if you want to do it every day. All right, point number 3. In conclusion, anybody listening to me right now, you're beating yourself up over a lack of discipline. You're beating yourself up over the wrong thing. You're getting the right answer to the wrong question. Discipline is not your problem. Your problem is you don't have structure. Structure is your problem. In my book, The Third Day, I tell you how to set up a process that makes discipline easy. That's what you need. You don't need more discipline. You need more process. The process makes discipline easy so you can do things over and over and over again. So if you know somebody who's achieved that outcome already, plug into what they're doing, whatever outcome you want to get to. If you don't know, then you need to go look around and find somebody who does know. Send me a text. I can help you out. I can direct you to somebody who would know whatever outcome it is you're looking for, at least point you in the right direction to start looking for it. You make things complicated by thinking that your problem is one thing when it's actually another thing. Again, this is why you need insights. You need to get the right questions, not the right answers to the wrong questions. All that said, text me to get my daily motivation to your phone free of charge. My number is 305-384-6894. And workonyourgame.net. Get access to my free 45-minute training. Those of you interested in increasing your income in business, understanding that is not working harder to make more money that you need. It's the system that will allow you to do more of what you're already doing that is producing the money. That's going to be the income driver for you. Workonyourgame.net is the name of that website. Work on your game. Dre all day.